Good afternoon. And why am I looking at the microphone? Afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to do the best attackers of each type in Pokemon Go. I'm going to try and keep this video nice and concise, short and sweet, just keep it to the point and informative. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each type and I'm going to list the top 6 attackers of every type. I'm going to do the best moveset of each Pokemon, so it's going to be a list of 6 different Pokemon. I'm not going to give you exact DPS numbers because it's all relative compared to what you fight in and other variables anyway, IVs, etc. I'm going to list them as a percentage. So for example, water types, Kyogre will set the bar at 100% and then everything will be a percentage of that DPS. So Gyarados does XXX percentage of Kyogre's total DPS. So it gives you a percentage relative to the best attacker of that type to sort of see how they stack up against the supreme leaders of each type. Weird term to use. So to get the data for this, I've used a calculator on Gamepress where it calculates all Pokemon's comprehensive DPS, and there's a search engine. So using that, I searched for Pokemon with quick moves and charge moves of the same type and sorted it by DPS. I will link to the sheet I used in the description. The calculations it uses are pretty good. It does calculate energy gain for attacking. It does calculate for energy gain from taking damage as well. It does take into account wasted energy of multiple bar charge moves, but I did it against a blank slate, so it's not specific to any sort of Pokemon. So these percentages will vary slightly depending on what you're fighting. It's not exact numbers, it's only interesting to look at what these Pokemon can do on paper, and you know, it's, as I say, it's raw DPS, nothing else. So that being said, let's crack on. So in no particular order, just whatever order I've written the stats down in. Fire types first. The best on paper fire type in the game is Moltres. Utilising Fire Spin Overheat, that's our 100% benchmark for fire types. Coming in at number 2 is our brand new Community Day Charizard. Nice fun one to use with, that's obviously Fire Spin Blast Burn. He does 97.6% of the DPS Moltres does. In third, interestingly enough, according to this, is Flareon with Fire Spin Overheat. He ranks at 95.8% of Moltres' DPS. Number 4, Entei with Fire Spin Overheat. That's 95.6%. Number 5 will be Blaziken. That's Fire Spin Overheat again, 95.26%. Last but not least, kind of last and least, is Arcanine with Fire Fang Flamethrower. 87.01%. Just a couple of honourable mentions. Salamence with Fire Fang Fire Blast comes in somewhere down the line with 83.4%. Just an option if you like Salamence. And Typhlosion, if you're a Typhlosion fan, I am. Ember Overheat, that's 82.45%. Water types, as we said earlier, Kyogre, Waterfall Hydro Pump, is setting the bar at 100% for us on this. He's an absolute monster, and it's like quite a bit above Gyarados, who's not number 2. Number 2 is Sharpedo with Waterfall Hydro Pump again. That's 90.2% the efficiency of Kyogre. That's near enough a 10% drop there, so Kyogre's really, really on top. Number 3 is Gyarados with Waterfall Hydro Pump, no surprises there, 89.35%, so basically on par with Sharpedo, but much bulkier. Number 4, funnily enough, is Swampert. You want Water Gun Surf, and that's 82.9%. Number 5 is Blastoise. It's fun that he at least made it into this list. Water Gun Hydro Cannon. He ranks at 81.14% of Kyogre's DPS. And then number 6, the old favourite of Pokemon Go, Vaporeon with Water Gun Hydro Pump, and that's 79.6% the efficiency of Kyogre. And Blastoise and Vaporeon are on par there, and Vaporeon is way bulkier than Blastoise, so he is actually like a better choice still, really. A couple of other honourable mentions for Alligator, because he's a starter and I'm sure some people like him. I like him too. Watergun Hydro Pump, that's 77.77%. And Waylord, because he's like one of my favourites in the game. Watergun Surf, 77.39%, which is basically the same as for Alligator. Ground types. So the best ground type of all, surprise, surprise, is it's Groudon with Mudshot Earthquake, 100% benchmark. Number 2 is Rhydon with Mudslap Earthquake, that jumps right down to 83.7%. Number 3 is Swampert again, that's Mudshot Earthquake, 79.91%. Number 4, Golem, no surprises, he's taking making a guest appearance here. Mudshot Earthquake, 79.74%. Number 5 is Flygon. He's not really that good, but he's well cool, I think, so I'd like to use him. With Flygon, you want Mudshot Earthquake, and he's 72.63%. Just a quick honourable mention, Sandslash, because it's a bit of a favourite. Mudshot Earthquake, it's 69.81% as efficient as Groudon. Oh, killing it. Onto electric types. Raikou with Raikou with Thundershock Wild Charge, 100%. Number 2 is Zapdos, that's Thundershock Thunderbolt, that's 97.99%, as good as Raikou, so he's really not far off. Number 3, Jolteon with Thundershock Thunderbolt, that jumps down to 89.18%. Now we're getting into the realms of things that I don't think are that useful or great, I suppose. Manectric with Charge Beam and Wild Charge will be 87.96% as efficient. Magneton with Thundershock Discharge will be 83.55% as efficient. Alolan Raichu with Thundershock Wild Charge is 82.89%, that's number 6. Then number 7 is Raichu with Thundershock Wild Charge, 81.48%. No. Dragon types. So, reigning supreme over the entire game DPS and the Dragon type DPS is Rayquaza with Dragon Tail Outrage. He's setting the bar at 100% for our dragons. Oh, it has just started throwing it down out there. I hope that's not too loud. Number 2 is Salamence with Dragon Tail Draco Meteor, that's 85.56%. Number 3, Dragonite with Dragon Tail Outrage, that's 92.11% as efficient as Rayquaza. Number 4, Latios with Dragon Breath Dragon Claw, 85.9%. Number 5, Latias with Dragon Breath Outrage, 77.5% as efficient. We're starting to drop. Honourable mentions, but it is in order as well. Number 7 is Flygon, Dragon Tail, Dragon Claw, 70.6% as efficient. Number 8, Gyarados. He's not a Dragon type, but I thought I've got one powered up, so I thought I'd see where he comes in. Dragon Tail Outrage, 70.4%. And Kingdra, not great, but interesting typing resistances wise. So you want Dragon Breath Outrage, 67.99% of the DPS of Rayquaza. I started off so well. Psychic types. On the top of the list, Psychic types, setting the bar at 100 is obviously Mewtwo. You want Confusion Psychic on your Psychic type Mewtwo. So number 2 is Alakazam, Glass Hammer, but mega damage. Confusion Future Sight on Alakazam, and he does 95.07 the amount of damage as Mewtwo, so not a significant drop, but it is a drop. 3rd, Espeon with Confusion Future Sight, 93.17%. Number 4, Latios with Zen Headbutt and Psychic, 80.58%. Number 5 is Jinx. I don't like Jinx. Confusion Psyshock, 80.39%. Number 6, Metagross, so not that good, but it's because of Psychic. Zen Headbutt Psychic, 80.12%. He's one we can hope to get Future Sight on in the future, I think. And just a quick honourable mention, because he's cool, Gardevoir with Confusion Psychic, that's 78.78%. Grass types. So, reigning supreme of the grass types, setting the bar at 100%, is our Venusaur with Vine Whip Frenzy Plant. Number 2 will be Septile with Bullet Seed Leaf Blade. He's 95.5% as efficient as Venusaur. 3rd, Victory Bell with Razor Leaf Leaf Blade. He's 94.61% as efficient. 4 is Exeggutor with Bullet Seed and Solar Beam. It's the same stats and moveset for a Alolan Exeggutor as well, if you're into that kind of thing. I haven't powered on it, but I am into that kind of thing. That's 94.36% as efficient. Number 5, Shiftry, Razor Leaf Leaf Blade, 93.2% as efficient. Number 6 is Breloom with Bullet Seed and Solar Beam. That's 90.38% as efficient. I'm not good at this. Steel types. Setting the bar, we've got Metagross with Bullet Punch and Flash Cannon. Then at number 2, we've got Scizor with Bullet Punch. That was well Manchester, wasn't it? Bullet Punch and Iron Head. 3rd is Aggron with Iron Tail Heavy Slam. 89.56%. Number 4, not even a steel type, is Machamp with Bullet Punch and Heavy Slam. That's 88.95% as effective. Number 5 is Alolan Dugtrio with Metal Claw, Iron Head. That's 86.57% as effective. And number 6, again, not even a steel type, Aerodactyl with Steel Wing Iron Head. That's 84.98% as efficient. Couple of cool honourable mentions for people. Alolan Sandslash with Metal Claw Gyro Ball will be 76.29% as efficient. Steelix with Iron Tail Heavy Slam will be 73.42% as effective. And then right at the bottom of the barrel is Registeel with Metal Claw and Flash Cannon. 63.17% as effective. He's really special, that one, isn't he? Poison types. This list is short and sweet because they're all rubbish. So the top poison type is Victory Bell with Acid and Sludge Bomb. Coming in second is Rosalia with Poison Jab Sludge Bomb. That's 89.21% as effective, a 10% drop there. The third, Muck, or the new Alolan Muck, which I think is cooler, with Poison Jab Gunk Shot, 88.1%. Number 4 is actually Weeping Bell, so let's just skip past that, shall we? Number 5 is Nidoking with Poison Jab and Sludge Wave. That's 85.26% as efficient. Number 6 is Beedrill with Poison Jab and Sludge Bob, which is 83.17 efficient. And if we're down to Beedrill, you know how bottom of the barrel we're scraping for poison types there. Oh, that rain's getting really bad. Fighting types. Oh mate, it's so loud. I think this is ruining everything. We're just going to have to crack on. So fighting types. Top actually is Breloom with Counter and Dynamic Punch. Although obviously way not as bulky as number 2, Machamp obviously. Again, Counter Dynamic Punch, 98.82% the damage of Breloom as well. So there's not a lot in it. Machamp in most matchups will do you better. Number 3, Blaziken with Counter and Focus Blast. That's 93.3% as effective. Number 4 is Hariyama with Counter Dynamic Punch, 93.01% as effective. Number 5, Region Locked Heracross, Counter Close Combat. That's 86.81% as effective. And last and very least, Primeape with Counter Cross Chop, 77.2% as effective as Breloom. Bug types. Number 1, Pinsir with Bug Bite X Scissor. Number 2, Scizor with Fury Cutter X Scissor, 97.93% as effective, DPS wise, as Pinsir. Scyther, third, with Fury Cutter X Scissor again, 91.9% as effective. And number 4 is Heracross with Struggleberg and Megahorn, that's 83.25% as effective. And 5, Beautifly with Infestation Bug Buzz, that's 78.57% as effective. I'm not going to go looking for 6 because we're already scraping the bottom of the barrel there. Ice types. Best DPS of the ice types is Jinx with Frost Breath Avalanche. Second up, you've got Piloswine with Powder Snow Avalanche. I prefer Frost Breath. I don't think it can learn Frost Breath. 84.77% as effective as Jinx. Number 3rd, weirdly enough, is Sneasel with Ice Shard Avalanche. 84.28% as effective. Number 5 is Cloyster. Frost Breath Avalanche. That's 82.2% as effective. Number 5 is Articuno with Frost Breath Blizzard. I think in most matchups, Ice Beam is better because of the 2-bar, so not sure about that. But 80.77% as effective. Number 6, Walrein with Frost Breath Blizzard, who's 78.49 of the DPS. Couple of Ice-type honourable mentions. Regice with Frost Breath Blizzard is 75.22%. And Lapras, which I've got one powered up from time ago, Frost Breath Blizzard is 72.59%. Rubbish. Dark types. On top, Sharpedo. Huge glass hammer, but he does pack a wallop. You want Bite Crunch on your Sharpedo. Number 2 is Absol, that's Snarl Dark Pulse. He's 92.59% as effective, so nearly 8% drop there. Number 3, Tyranitar, Bite Crunch, 91.31%. Again, well bulkier than the rest, so he probably actually is a better choice in most matchups. But, you know, it's fun to know there is other options out there. Number 4, Houndoom with Snarl Foul Play. That's 90.49%. Number 5, Cacturn with Sucker Punch Dark Pulse, 84.27%. Number 6 is Shiftry with Feint Attack and Foul Play, that's 83.37%. For Ghost types, reigning supreme of the Ghost types is obviously Gengar with Shadow Claw Shadow Ball. If you don't have Shadow Claw, because it is Legacy, Hex isn't as good. It's not too bad, but it isn't as good. Hex Shadow Ball will be 94.6% as efficient, so just over 5% DPS loss there, which is quite a bit. Number 2, funnily enough, is Haunter, so I'm going to skip over that because we're doing different Pokemon. Sort of is. So number 3, Banette with Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball, that's 86.19%. 4, Ghastly, move past it. 5, Alolan Marowak with Hex and Shadow Ball, 54.62% as effective. And number 6 is Chimicheko, I really don't know to be honest with you, with Astonish Shadow Ball is 54.43% as effective. Flying types. I haven't got a full list of 6 because they're so rubbish and really annoying in Pokemon Go, so I swerved a couple. But number 1, we do have Rayquaza, which is Air/Aerial Ace. Number 2 is Swellow, see what I mean? Wing Attack, Sky Attack, that's 82.89%. Number 3, Fearow with Peck and Sky Attack, that's 78.78% as effective. Then it's Scyther, Murkrow and Xatu, which I'm not interested in. Rock types. The best rock type is now Tyranitar with Smackdown Stone Edge, so he's setting the bar for us here. Second is Legacy Omastar with Rock Throw and Rock Slide. I'm well hoping we get this Pokemon back at some point because I really want some more rock type attackers. He is still 89.97% as effective as Tyranitar, so there is a 10% drop in DPS there. Following that is Golem, Alolan Golem, if that tickles your fancy. With Rock Throw Stone Edge, that's 87.77% as effective. We're going to cut these off there because next is Lunatone and Solrock, and I don't think anyone's powering them up, are they? Last but not least, Fairy types. And because we've got no Fairy type quick moves in Pokemon Go, I've just taken all the Pokemon with Fairy type charge moves and done a list of the DPS with those. So, first, not even a Fairy type, is Alakazam with Confusion Dazzling Gleam. Second, Gardevoir, that's again Confusion Dazzling Gleam, he's 99.19% as effective as Alakazam. Third is Gramble with Snarl Play Rough, that's 88.84% as effective. Number 4, Ursaring Counter Play Rough, that's 88.8%. And I'm not going to go any deeper than that because they're just rubbish and not cool, so... and I'm just going to round it off with a quick list of the top 10 overall DPS in the entire game of every type, just to see where we're at with that. So, as I said earlier, number 1 is Rayquaza with Dragon-Tail Outrage. Number 2 is going to be Mewtwo with Confusion Shadow Ball. He's 96.75% the DPS of Rayquaza. And number 3, Salamence with Dragon-Tail Draco Meteor. That's 95.56%. Number 4, Gengar with Shadow Claw Shadow Ball, 95.34%. Number 5, Dragonite with Dragon-Tail Outrage, 92.11%. Number 6 is Breloom with Counter Dynamic Punch, 87.6%. Number 7, Moltres, Fire Spin Overheat, that's 86.63%. Number 8, Machamp, Counter Dynamic Punch, 86.57%. Number 9 is Raikou with Thundershock Wild Charge, 85.91%. And then at number 10, surprisingly enough, Latios with Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw, and he's 85.9% of Rayquaza's damage output. And that's your lot. So... what to take from this? In conclusion, I'm tired. As I said, it is just a vague overview of the DPS of the Pokemon every type, but it does give you some new interesting options of like things you could possibly use instead of other things, especially for things like dark types, and dark types is pretty much the most interesting ones. But it does give you a vague look at how powerful some Pokemon are in respect to others of the same type. It might give you some more options. I like trying to use a varied team. I think the main takeaway from looking at this is how the moveset affects more than anything else. Like, all the best fire types just have Fire Spin, Overheat. All the best water types have, like, Waterfall, Hydro Pump. So it is kind of like a battle of the movesets. But that's your top 6 attackers of every type. I hope that helps. I hope that gives you a bit of inspiration to go out there and use something a bit weird next time you're doing a raid. If you've got any success using some of these weird Pokemon that have come out on top, like Breloom and Sharpedo, let me know in the comments. I do hope that was helpful and a little bit informative, and I hope it was just clear and easy to understand as well. I'm still getting better at just structuring these things and just, you know, getting the dialogue out in general, so thanks for bearing with me. I'll see you next time.